Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about how to support a rape victim, and this is for men and women. It is incredibly painful to watch a person you love go through a trauma like rape, and you may not know how to support a rape victim. Supporting a rape victim can be challenging, but it is worth it to know that you are helping someone who has gone through something so unthinkable. Both men and women can be victims of rape, and both men and women can support the victim. Gender is not relevant here, but support is. There are many things that you can do to support a rape victim. It starts with how you approach them. It's important not to judge the victim and to listen to what he or she has to say and let them know that you are there to support them. And keep in mind that it takes time for a rape victim to heal. Part of supporting a rape victim is not trying to rush them into understanding that they will heal in their own time. According to the Rape, Incest, and Abuse National Network, there are other things that you can do to support a victim. You can help empower your loved one by respecting their choices and not pressuring them to do things for which they are not ready. If the rape victim is considering offing themselves, get them help immediately and check in with them frequently. Encourage the victim to report the crime, but understand it is ultimately their decision. Encourage the victim to get professional help when needed. Support the rape victim by going with them to the medical or legal appointments. And remember that while supporting a rape victim, it is also important to care for yourself too. If you're not well, you can't hope to help anyone else. You may also need professional rape support for yourself. Call the National Sex Assault Hotline at 1-800-656-HOPE for information on professional help for the rape victim and those around him or her. Dating a rape victim. While dating a rape victim can seem daunting, it's worth remembering that in the United States, someone is sexually assaulted every 2 minutes. If you haven't dated a rape victim yet, you likely will. Dating a rape victim can bring about many feelings in you as well as your partner. You may feel angry about the rape, overly protective of the victim, and vengeance towards the rapist. These feelings are normal and should be discussed with your partner or with a professional. It's important to understand that while you may feel that your support isn't enough, indeed your support of the rape victim is appreciated even if he or she can't always express it. Also keep in mind when dating a rape victim that the victim may lose interest in sex or in certain sexual activities for a while. This is normal and not a rejection of you. Your partner may need to suddenly stop in the middle of sexual contact due to unexpected feelings or fear or anxiety. Respect that decision and cease contact immediately. Again, this is not a rejection of you, only on the rape. You may also lose interest in sex for a while due to the rape. You may have thoughts that the victim is dirty or contaminated. This is normal and should be discussed with a professional. In short, a rape can affect both you and your partner significantly, but it is possible to get through those feelings with open lines of communication and possibly with the help of a professional. Being with a rape survivor is a lot like being with a survivor of domestic violence. Everybody that suffers trauma has triggers, and sometimes those around those people also gain triggers. You know, somebody coming out of a domestic violence situation, which can also have issues of rape involved in that domestic violence. But slamming cabinets, leaving the door unlocked, throwing something, you know, even just accidentally dropping something can trigger. And a lot of the domestic violence triggers are also present with a rape victim. And I have went over many of the domestic violence situations. So those are in past videos. Getting the person through those triggers is not your job. As a partner, it is not your job. As a friend, it is not your job. As a family member, it is not your job. Triggers are put into place for someone's safety. If I trigger by, let's say, a canned good falls out of a cabinet because in a past relationship, maybe I was hit in the back of the head with a can of corn. Yeah, who knows? It's not your job to move all the canned goods out of the cabinet so that they don't have a chance to fall out and scare me. For a rape victim, it can be different depending on where it occurred. A lot of rapes around the world, not just in the US, but around the world, happen in alleys, happens in stalls at bathrooms, nightclubs, bars, stuff like that. Those triggers can sometimes be easier to deal with because the person just doesn't go to an alley, or they stop going to nightclubs, but then they go into Walmart and have to use the bathroom and the stall triggers them. What do you do? What do you do when it happens in your own home? To be supportive of somebody that has those triggers, helping them get through them is key, but it's not your responsibility to prevent every trigger. Triggers happen to save lives a lot of times. You know, you walk in an alley and no matter how much stuff I mute, something always gets through, right? Anyway, let's say you're walking through an alley and there's a homeless person. They shuffle some cardboard. The person that you're with, your partner, that was, let's say, raped in an alley, just that slight little shift of that cardboard can set them into a panic attack. It can set them into some major anxiety. Later in the week, it may end up increasing depression or something. But you're walking with that person and they trigger. You can't just run over there and pick up that cardboard and go burn it. You can't get rid of that trigger. Because if you do, you're going to literally burn down some man's house or some woman's house. They're living in a box. You cannot get rid of that trigger. But you can squeeze your partner's hand. You can put your arm around them if they allow. And pull them close. Let them know that you're there. That you're going to protect them as best that you can. That they can talk to you. That they can cry. You know, with men, you may have to encourage the tears, literally. But allowing a victim to deal with the triggers in a safe manner is the biggest thing that anyone can do for a loved one. And over time, hopefully, the triggers become smaller and life gets back to normal. But what is normal? I'm leaving a space there for answers, and I know nobody really has the answer to it. Whenever you're with someone and you have to stop what you're doing in order to get them through their day, that is one of the biggest acts of love. And it does not matter if you're dating or if you're a friend or a coworker, if it's somebody in your church or your organization. You know, this video is about dating a survivor. But there is a lot of other interactions that we have in our life where our relationships are important and we can help those people get through it. Being intimate with a survivor of rape can be difficult. For the person that was assaulted, there's a lot of things that go through their minds. You know, they're not good enough. They will never be quote unquote clean again. For the one dating that person, some stereotypical views of the uncleanliness and stuff, especially with some religions, that's a whole other topic. But society puts views on people when they are dating somebody that is known as a victim. And society really needs to change their views. The person is not unclean. They are not destroyed. They are not ruined. A horrific act was imposed upon them. And that's that. It doesn't change who they are. It may change some things that they do, like extra security, making sure windows are locked. You know, they may take 2 or 3 or 4 baths a day, and this is understandable, but it's not the fact that they are dirty. When your partner is in there taking 3 or 4 baths a day, or trying to put bleach in their bath water, like I've heard so many stories about bleach and bathwater after a rape. If you talk to them and you tell them that they are clean, that they are not dirty, and help them focus on the real issue behind wanting all of those baths, which is to wash the other person off of them. I've known someone who was doing that with the bath, and they were literally driving their husband insane. And he would not stay out of the shower. It didn't matter what was going on. His husband at one point found him using the water out of the back of the toilet bowl in a store because he wanted to wash himself. Well, the partner to him sat him down literally at that point in the middle of the bathroom and just held him really, really tight. And he was fighting him. He even actually bit him really bad. He had to have a stitch, or like 4 or 5 stitches. But he held him so tight that after that, he no longer had the need to wash the other person off of him. Now, I'm not suggesting that you go out and just hold somebody really tight and not let go. Like, I'm not suggesting that. But that is something that I know did work with that one person. And when he got so low that he was literally bathing in the back of the toilet water, his husband knew that there was an issue, and for the sake of their relationship and for the sake of their mentality for both of them, they literally sat in that bathroom and he held on to him so tight for a while, couple of hours. And then they went through their crying phase together, and you know, they're still together. This happened, I want to say, probably about 7 or 8 years ago. And they're still together. They're still going strong. But different people react in different ways. And you as a partner, you know who you're married to. You know who you're dating. You know who you've been seeing for 3 or 4 months. It doesn't mean that you've been there for 20 or 30 years. It may just be a few weeks or, you know, even a brand new relationship. But you know how you can help that person. And the biggest way to help that person is through understanding, love, and acceptance. Have a good day, everybody.